Green Bay Packers with a B per Trevor. And look, I mean, I didn't think they had a ton of work to do because of how young they were or have been and how exciting they were last year. But Devondre Campbell out at linebacker. I think the most interesting move is going to be at running back, where they release Aaron Jones and then bring in Josh Jacobs on a pretty big deal for running back. And they signed Xavier McKinney, probably their other big splash move, to play free safety. McKinney has been the highest graded free safety, or when lined up at free safety, highest grade in the NFL since entering the league 4 years ago. Packers going to play a little bit more single high, put McKinney in that position, so a good fit there for Green Bay. And then, of course, they drafted 100 times again and bring in a ton of volume through the draft once again.
Yeah, I mean, I like their free agent or their offseason generally, but I think you're right. Like, part of having the youngest roster in the NFL last year and then expected to have it again this year, and having so many draft picks, is you are going to be invested in the youth. Like, you're not going to be making you're not going to be having the same level of roster churn in terms of veterans that a lot of other teams are, because you're simply way younger than that, and they're not losing so many players. So yeah, like, I think their free agency was a little bit like some of these other teams we talked about, losing a guy, replacing a guy. In their cases, I mean, Xavier McKinney is a better safety than Darnell Savage. At this point, Josh Jacobs might be a better bet at running back on effectively the same contract as Aaron Jones was on. They're both 4-year, $48 million deals. Jacobs is younger and has less wear and less of an injury history than Aaron Jones does, even if he's had his own issues. So I think you'd say they probably got better in the free agent portion of the offseason. And then their draft strategy is let's bring in 12 players. Let's bring in 10-plus guys and see what they can do.
Really liked their 2 second-round picks, Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker out of Texas A&M, safety Javon Bullard out of Georgia. I think those guys have a chance to contribute right away. Jordan Morgan, is he going to maybe move to guard, develop as a tackle, just throw him into the mix of developmental Packers offensive linemen, where they've had a pretty good history there. So it was very Packers offseason. I think they've been particular in free agency. And so when they go get a guy like Xavier McKinney, there's a reason, right? They've been very particular with where they're going to spend their money over the last few years in particular. So looking pretty good there. They have a lot of money invested in the back seven, but also some contingency in depth that they've built, because they've been drafting so much and getting so young over these last couple of years.
Yep.
Good offseason for the Packers.
I liked it. Yeah, solid.
So what was it? B?
B.
Feel like a B?
Solid, unspectacular.
Maybe a B plus.